Let's make Christmas this year the year you feel truly fulfilled, present, and connected with Jesus. Hello there, I'm Hillary of Creative Faith & Co., and I'm thrilled to be releasing and showing you the new Christmas collection for 2025. But of course, if you stumble across this video, another year, it is great content, and I'm so excited to be sharing what this kit comes with, what it's about, as well as a few different ideas on how you can use it and set it up. So, the theme is called Fulfilled Prophecies and the Birth of Jesus. So, I love play on words. And so I was thinking about, and I also love any sort of cup of hot chocolate, chai, apple cider, anything like that. I love a cup of something warm, especially in the winter. And so, this idea of filling and prophecies about the birth of Jesus that were fulfilled came to mind. And so, that is kind of the theme of this collection. It's all about prophecies in the Old Testament that were fulfilled in the New Testament with the birth of Jesus. So, really excited to walk through this theme. It's going to be such powerful devotion content and Bible study time, and I'm just really excited about it. But I need to start with a story so you know a little bit of the background. So, this is my fifth Christmas devotion book that I've written, and I have been, again, really excited about this one. I love, again, the play on words, I love the mug imagery, and most of all, I love the Bible verses. I think it's really powerful to look at prophecies in the Bible. It's not something I've ever done for Creative Faith & Co. before. So, really excited about the content. And so normally I write the content, I upload it to Amazon. I use Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing is what it's called. And then the book in a few days after I upload it appears on Amazon and I can purchase it and other people can purchase it. So I did that. I wrote the content, I edited it, I designed the cover, uploaded it to Amazon, and a few days later, it said that it was live, and I was so excited. And I thought, oh, great, this gives people time to purchase it and whatnot. So last Saturday, what was that? November 22nd, in the morning, it said, I got an email, and it said, your book, congratulations, your book is published. Click this link to purchase. So I clicked it, and this dog comes up and it says, like, uh-oh, this page cannot be found. And this has actually happened before in the past. And like within a couple hours, that screen would disappear, my book would appear. So all day Saturday, kept checking, 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 all day Sunday, all day Monday. And we're now on Tuesday, Tuesday, November 25th. And I have cried so many tears over this project, and I have been so upset at the delay. And so I even yesterday messaged Amazon, the in the back end of things, asking for help, and they said weren't very helpful and just said, "Oh, it's still working on it, takes time." And so yesterday I uploaded the full color winter Bible study notebooks, similar to the full color fall ones I did. I uploaded a daily December journal with prompts and lines on the pages, similar to the fall one I did. And those are in the same boat. They're saying it's live, and the same dog screen is popping up. And so my husband, he was like, maybe, what's God trying to teach you through this delay? He's doing it for a reason. And I was like, yeah, I know, as I was sobbing. I know, but I don't know. Then, as I've just been processing it, I also just wonder, maybe is it not God? Well, obviously, God's permitting it to be delayed. But it made me think of there's this verse, I can't remember where it is, but it's in the Bible where someone was praying and an angel comes to the person and says, I heard your prayer and I was trying to get to you, but the forces of darkness and evil stopped me, and I was fighting with them for several weeks before I could get here to answer you. And so I also just kind of wonder if there's a lot of spiritual warfare around this theme and the devil not wanting it to get in people's hands is kind of something I have also been processing. So this morning, an idea popped in my mind, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to create a printable version of the devotions. And it's going to be available in my Etsy shop, and people can print it. And I'm going to share a ton of ideas on how you can set up your own traveler's notebook with the devotion content. So that is where we're at with this collection. I do hope and pray that someday the dog screen disappears and that my book appears, as well as all the other ones that I've been making and uploading. But in the meantime, I am not going to wait around because this content is really good, it's really powerful, and I'm really excited for you to go through it and study these prophecies surrounding the birth of Jesus with me. So here we are. And it's a little backstory, but if you would just join me in praying that whatever's happening in the back end of my Amazon store with my devotion books and journals and planners and things, that it would, you know, be released. I told my husband I feel like it has been hijacked. That Amazon is hijacking my books. So here is the collection in printable form, and when the book is available on Amazon, I will have it linked in the description box below. But for now, there are two printables. There's the artwork printable over here and the devotion book and cover printable over here. So they're both available in the Creative Faith Etsy shop. They are both on sale because I'm doing my Black Friday Shop Small Saturday, Cyber Monday shop anniversary sale. So Creative Faith started and became an official LLC back in November, end of November 2016. So it is my shop anniversary in addition to all those other exciting things with Black Friday and whatnot. So this new collection is all on sale, which is so wild. So great time to pick it up. And I really hope and pray this devotion content blesses you. And yeah, I just think it's going to be really powerful. And that's why someone does not want it to get in people's hands. But guess what? God is bigger. Jesus says, in this world you will have trial and trouble and tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And I am declaring that and believing that over this project. So, anyways, I'm going to show you the content, go through all the pages, and then I'm also going to share tons of ideas on how you can work through this. So, let's see. Maybe I'll start with the meat and potatoes. So, let's start with the actual devotions. So, what I did was first off, there is a little page with how you can use it and how to set up, with some ideas on how to set it up. So you have the file. The file comes with the 9 devotions, comes with 2 different cover options, as well as this instruction sheet. And then also there's a little how to use it and message from the author. And so the 2 covers, there's one that's more a smaller traveler's notebook size. So you can see it has more margin on the side. And then there's one that is a full page. So if you wanted to do like a half page and just fold it in half instead of trying to trim it down to a traveler's notebook size, you can totally use this one. And I would encourage you to print these on cardstock if you're going to use them as a cover. I have just been trying to get everything done before the sun goes down, so I haven't printed them on cardstock yet. So then these are the different sizes, and you get all of the devotions. And so they're arranged exactly like how they would be in the devotion book. There's 2 pages for each one. Each one has a section from the Old Testament, a section from the New Testament, and then a Why This Matters section and going deeper questions. So that is the setup for each of the 9 prophecies. So we're looking at that Jesus was a child from the family line of Abraham. Jesus was a child from the family line of David. He was born of a virgin, born in Bethlehem. He was worshipped by shepherds. weeping, a star points the way, gifts for Jesus, and called out of Egypt. So those are the different prophecies, and then we're going to read the Old Testament scriptures and then the New Testament scriptures where it was fulfilled. And then I dive in and talk about why that is important and matters. And anyways, I just love how this all turned out. And I think the content is super, super powerful. So, some ideas on what you can do on how you can build your devotion book. Let me just grab, looks like a bomb went off in my office. So, here's what they look like cut out. And so the first thing you can do is glue or tape the devotions into a notebook. And I wanted to show a couple ideas. So these are a few Creative Faith notebooks. So these two are Christmas ones. This is from the first ABCs of Christmas I did, where it was kind of this pink and teal color scheme. It's a little untraditional, but this one matches super perfect to the collection. So it has gold and red and green in it. That is just so beautiful. So these would be really great. And then I also have this one that says the most wonderful time of the year. And it has the different days in December, which you could cover or leave. But I'd probably pick this one if it were me. And you can glue or tape them into the journal so you can see how they sit in this size page. So that is one idea, is to use a Creative Faith Traveler's Notebook. These are available on Amazon. I don't think, I actually haven't checked if my other books that I've already published are also showing that, but these should be available on Amazon, and I'll have those linked in the description box below. You can also glue or tape the devotions into a notebook that you have that isn't a Creative Faith notebook. So I wanted to share, this is a Carpe Diem Traveler's Notebook that I had. And I haven't shared about this yet on, on YouTube either, but I have a Traveler's Notebook setup bundle. It's on sale for Black Friday, Shop Small Saturday, Cyber Monday, Shop Anniversary, and it comes with 3 felt clips and a sticker. So I put the sticker on this notebook, and so I thought that might be kind of fun to use this. So you can see this is slightly wider than a traditional traveler's notebook, but this would be really perfect to use to work through this. I can have these on either side. So you can also use a notebook that you already have that isn't a Creative Faith notebook to use to add these devotions to work through the content. So I will have the Christmas Traveler's Notebook setup bundle with the clips. They're wool clips. They're super cute. And it comes with the sticker too. So that is another way that you can set up your journal, is to use a notebook that you already have. All right, the next way that you can work through this printable is to use a happy planner. So this is my skinny happy planner where I have tons of different Creative Faith printable devotions that I've worked through throughout the years. And so let me get to a blank page. I have so many in here, which is a huge blessing. But the devotions fit on these skinny pages. So you can see, especially if you cut inside the lines, it would fit even nicer. But it does fit if you cut outside of the lines onto these pages. Or you could use a classic or big size Happy Planner too. Or you could print these and use the Happy Planner punch and put them directly in here also. But I kind of like the idea of having them on these pages. And then you can, add more pages between for additional notes and journaling and things like that. So that is another way you can work through it, is using a Faith Happy Planner. All right, the next way you could work through this kit is to print these on cardstock and hole punch them and make a ring book. So you'd have to kind of think of where to do it, or leave like some on the top and hole punch the top maybe, and you can flip through the content. I'd encourage you to print it on cardstock if you're going to do that, but you can make a ring book. So like I would probably leave this top piece and cut it like that and hole punch up here, and then you could use a jump ring or even a piece of ribbon or yarn to put them all together. And you can flip through it and add pieces of Christmas pattern paper or plain white cardstock to use for journaling and working through the going deeper questions. So that is another way you can work through it, is to make a ring book. And then lastly, you could also make a tip in your journaling Bible. So if you wanted to, you could go to one of these passages and tape this into your journaling Bible. And you can do it at the top or on the side or on the bottom. And then that way you can flip through and you'd have the devotion content actually in your journaling Bible. So those are a few different ways, 4 different ways to use the devotions in here to create your own devotion book. So probably what I'm going to do is use this traveler's notebook, I think. Although the idea of making a ring book is kind of fun too. But I also love this journal because it matches so well. I love a matching moment. So we'll see. I will film a setup video for you so you can see how I end up setting it all up. So that is the devotion content and some different ways to use it. So now let's look through the pretty part, the artwork side of things. All right, so the artwork is really fun. I love how this turned out. So what I did was I made a mug to match each of the 9 devotions. And I made it so that each mug, the design on the mug matches in some way to the theme of the content. So like mug devotion 1, Abraham, I'm waiting on God. Mug devotion 2, King David. A wreath represents a circular crown a king would wear on his head. Here's like mug 3. Teardrops on the coffee sleeve represent weeping. So they're kind of subtle. Didn't want to have like a depressing mug for weeping, but I thought the little teardrops were kind of a subtle way of doing it. So you get those 9 mugs, and then you get the Greca. So I don't actually know what this is called in English, but it's called the Greca in Spanish, or at least in the Dominican Republic where my husband's from. That's how people make coffee there, and we have one. That's how we make our coffee every morning, is with a Greca, but I don't know what it is in English. So if you know the name of this in English, comment below. But I was imagining that being poured into a mug to represent being fulfilled. So you also get that in the little mug pouring. And so what have I showed you? I've showed you these, and then you get smaller versions because, like, especially for my planner or if you're working in a devotion book, I kind of love having a smaller version of the mugs as well. I just think that's nice to have a couple different size options. Then, this is the one I'm so excited about. It has the little garlands with the bows, and isn't that going to look so beautiful on the tops and bottoms of the pages? That's what matches the cover. I put that on the top and bottom of the cover, and so I'm really excited to use these on top of my journaling Bible, in my Christmas journal, in my prayer journal. Like, I'm gonna use this in all the places. That's why I put so many on a page, because I knew I'd be printing this like over and over and over again. So really excited about this. Then we have a few gifts and wreath. Okay, next we have a couple traveler's notebook pages, a spot for a prayer. We got a couple bows, and then the star to represent the star in the story. And then this is our key verse. It's from Matthew 1 verses 22 to 23, and it says, "All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. So, what a beautiful verse to reflect on. And then the artwork printable also comes with some 3x3 cards that have the verses, the Old Testament, New Testament verses on them with each prophecy. So you could, if you don't want the devotion content and just want to use it as like a scripture reading plan and study the themes on your own, you can definitely get this and use this to study those verses. But I do think the devotion content will be super helpful, and I'm just really excited about like what the Lord kind of revealed to me about him through these prophecies. And like, I don't know, it just got really deep. And I'm just really excited to get it in your hands. I think you're really going to like it. And then lastly, we have a piece of pattern paper. So again, you can make this into a journal cover if you want. You can make it into washi strips. I love ripping the corners. You could use this for Christmas tags. So I just love having pattern papers, and I think you'll find a lot of fun uses for that. So that is the artwork collection that goes along with this. And yeah, so I hope you're so excited for this collection. I'm sorry the journal is not available yet on Amazon. I truly don't know what to do. And I'm just kind of at my wit's end. But I am not going to let anyone stop me because I just think God has too many good things planned for this theme. So definitely check out the collection. I'll have these two printables linked below. Again, they're on sale for Christmas, for Black Friday, Shop Small Saturday, Cyber Monday, and my shop anniversary. So the sale will end on Monday, December 1st, which is Cyber Monday. So, anyways, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions for me. And let's see. Comment the mug emoji if you made it this far to represent being fulfilled. All the prophecies represent all the prophecies that were fulfilled in the birth of Jesus, that remind us that God is a promise keeper, then and now and forever. So, stay tuned for a video of me setting up my journal. Stay tuned for a video of me setting up my Christmas traveler's notebook. Don't forget to check out the little traveler's notebook little accessory kit with the clips and the stickers. This will be really perfect for setting up your traveler's notebook, and especially grab it while it's on sale. And thank you for being here, and be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye, friend!